So I've been training front lever for about 2.5 months now. I've been training different progressions, different exercises. The main thing I'm looking to improve right now is my front lever pull and my actual dynamic pulling strength rather than my hold time. Even though the hold time is something that I care about, the main thing I've been training for is this dynamic pulling strength, which you'll see momentarily after this warm-up. But over these few weeks, around 10 weeks now since I got this bar and I got this set up, I have realized that a lot of the time I am focusing way too much on making sure that my training regimen is perfect rather than just, okay, am I training consistently enough to be seeing benefit, or am I showing up in the right ways? When a lot of the time we focus on perfection and doing the precisely correct thing, it comes from a good place, but it doesn't always yield the most amount of benefit. And I think for static exercises and calisthenic exercises where you are maintaining the same amount of weight and you're just trying to get stronger in, so relative strength, I think it's a lot more important that you're just showing up frequently and that you're training moderately intensely every time that you do train, and not overtraining. Of course, you don't want to train to failure with every single set and do that 7 days a week with 10 sets per session. That's way too much than your body needs. But generally speaking, I have found that I overly focus on being perfect and critiquing myself and critiquing my training methods when I'm doing the majority of things right. For example, I'm training with a moderate amount of reps in reserve, maybe 2 to 3 most sets. Sometimes I will, and it depends on the skill. For example, holds is more difficult to find what that value is, how many seconds in reserve am I doing? And it's the same with pulling movements in calisthenics. Here, for example, it's hard to know your reps in reserve when you are doing a dynamic movement where the form can break down so easily. There, you can't really say how many reps in reserve I had because I could have done 2 more with bad form, right? So you shouldn't focus on these factors. You should focus on consistently showing up and training at an intensity that you are happy is going to get you progress. And I think generally as well, just caring more about outside of training and how much that impacts you, the consistency with sleeping habits, the consistency with eating and diet and getting enough calories and getting the right kind of fuel your body needs, high carb, high protein, right? It's really basics like this that yield 99% of the benefits from training, and they yield the reason you train as well, to get stronger, to progress, to feel stronger. So I guess this is kind of a mindset shift in my training now, where I am less focused about getting this perfect rep, this perfect drop set of this exercise, this progression to this progression with this many reps in reserve, and having to maintain the form the whole time, even though form is extremely important, and doing poor form consistently as your main training can fuck up your body entirely. It's what it did to me for training weights for a couple of years with bad form, rushing stuff, not building adequate tendon strength and conditioning. It ended up with me having really rounded shoulders and a shortened pec minor, which led to severe chest pain, which led to posture issues that I had to deal with for months in this year, 2025. It's just not worth it doing poor form that consistently. But when it's the end of your session, 1 or 2 sets, and you're doing poor form, you're gonna see in a moment, these archer push-ups, they kind of progressively get worse throughout. But that's because I'm trying to push myself and I'm not thinking too much about it being perfect. I just want to familiarize this movement. In order to achieve a certain level of strength, you have to do, in a movement, you have to at least start by doing that movement with mid form. You can't just work your way up the progressions and, now I can suddenly do 1 to 2 perfect reps of this. It's just not how it works. You've got to kind of throw yourself in the deep end at some point. Probably this is on the worst. This is on the scale where I wish if I could go back to this workout and look back at these reps, I probably would have maybe done it slightly less intense. Maybe I'd have the parallel slightly closer so I compromised on form less. But generally speaking, consistency of habits outside of the gym, consistency of training hard is way more important than feeling like you're doing everything perfect, when that is in the long term just going to add a lot of mental barriers to your style of training and progression essentially. But yeah, as you're going to see here, I am kind of wishing that I did this slightly better, but anyway, the physique's looking good. I'm feeling strong. I mean, this is a rep of the century right here. Not proud of that one, but we got through it. And yeah, I'm very happy with my progress, and I will swear that what I'm talking about today is the main reason why I'm progressing so well. The consistency in training habits, consistency outside of training, is what has led to me making this much progress in just a couple months. As you might see by my shorts on YouTube or Instagram, I'm very happy with the progression over the past 9 or 10 weeks now. And yeah, physique update,